50 Cent at 1090 Jake found paperwork proves Big allegedly snitched. 50 Cent, Tammy Cohen. The truth and nothing but the truth coming soon. 1090 Jake tomorrow. Got that work. You know the vibe.
It seems like you got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, nigga, you. Nigga, that's my daddy, nigga.
The direct goal of 50 Cent is to bring Big Meech to light. Even though he now claims to be an official informant and to have the actual documents, things have only become stranger. Unable to remain silent, Lil Boy entered the argument and expressed his disapproval of Lil Meech's response to all of the criticism Big Meech was getting.
My dad looked out for a lot of people, and 50 ain't do half. Like 50 literally looked out for my dad more than the people that my
Boosie even went so far as to state quite simply that he would have been furious if someone had ever treated his parents with the same contempt that 50 is displaying toward Big Meech. It appears that he clearly received that message because at 50, Lil Meech chose to hurt him physically rather than verbally. No lengthy posts or outbursts of rage. Rather, Lil Meech teamed up with Rick Ross and Floyd Mayweather, two of the league's most formidable opponents.
You made my son $5 million. How much you made though? So you gonna stop? You gonna stop? Yeah, you made, yeah. You ain't just, yeah, come on.
Put your back against the wall and just slide down. You already know, car show going down June 7th. Get online right now, get your tickets right now. But for the hustlers, I want y'all to understand you gotta stop making business personal.
Yes, those 250 wouldn't keep quiet about it, as you now know. He clapped back, simultaneously yelling out Lil Meech, Boosie, and Rick Ross. This is the genuine stuff, despite 50's declaration that he had been watching the entire play and would not be taking it in passively. Is 50 overreacting to all of this commotion, or does he have a good basis for his feelings? And why is he flaunting his alleged documents everywhere? Is 50 only stirring things up? Or is this the real deal? Let's go right into gain sway. The conflict between 50 Cent and Big Meech has taken a totally unexpected turn. And now 50 is pointing to documents as if it were Judgment Day to assert that he has concrete evidence that Meech collaborated with the federal government. This whole thing is becoming stranger by the second, man. A few weeks ago, Big Meech vehemently declared that he never folded and never notified anyone, ending all the snitch speculation. However, 50 Cent won't put up with it. Meech is sticking to his "I never snitched" assertion, but 50 is stepping up their efforts more than before. He claims to have genuine court documents that demonstrate Meech and one of his former colleagues took part in a third-party collaboration agreement, complete with dates, signatures, and real names. This is more than just trying to get influence online. "I'm ready to show the world my stack of receipts," 50 is shouting from the rooftops.
It seems like you got a genuine kind of love for 50 on his response. But, you know, my response, nigga, you.
And as you well know, on Tuesday, February 25th, one of Meech's closest pals joined the debate by sharing a screenshot of a 1090 message, and 50 quickly made a large social media statement. Jake is a YouTuber who is well known for using snitch documents to expose everyone's secrets. They released what he referred to as receipts. 50 claims that the materials are based on what 190 Jake reportedly assisted him in connecting with Tammy Cohen's Big Meech, a long-standing acquaintance, to a significant federal case. There will be lots of important questions regarding how if these records are even remotely real. He wrote in his caption that Meech's prison sentence had been suddenly reduced. Only the truth is on the horizon. 1090 Jake disposed of those documents. Tomorrow, Tammy Cohen's. You are familiar with the feeling. It goes beyond friendship. Everyone believed that it was meant to represent true loyalty. But rumors are now becoming very controversial. Blue Da Vinci, a former member of the BMF, argues that Tammy may have been playing a double game the entire time, offering Thiefer Tammy arranged important people behind the scenes and offered her inside information. Big Meech handed her the keys to the empire. After his 2008 incarceration, he personally selected her to head BMF Entertainment, treating her like family and granting her complete power over the company. However, things had drastically changed by 2009. According to reports, Tammy changed sides and began collaborating with the FBI directly. At this point, it becomes somewhat strange. Everyone is submitting the same urgent question on the internet. Is Tammy here yet? Working along with the federal authorities before Meech's sentence was cancelled. Was Meech aware of it? Did Meech secretly work with Tammy without ever having to sign the paperwork? That's even stranger. Some people on the internet are now assuming that the 50 alleged receipts are unimportant and do not demonstrate that Meech was duped. Many astute followers take note when 50 promises to release even more documents soon. Big Meech is never officially identified as an informant in those so-called receipts. Will anyone disregard this? Furthermore, Meech wasn't really sitting down with the feds, even though Tammy might have been negotiating and securing him a fantastic time reduction. The game becomes sticky at this point. Without the subject ever knowing it, an informant in the federal government can truthfully divulge information that reduces a person's sentence. The degree of treachery determines whether the beneficiary was aware of the agreement or approved of it. This is how the game is truly played. A real sworn affidavit or a cooperation agreement is the first way to obtain a break. An informant will then directly support someone's case by testifying in person or by making statements. The judge or prosecutors may also reduce the offender's sentence by a certain amount of time if they believe the information is useful. The individual receiving the break typically knows the score when such an arrangement is established, and it is formally confirmed once a signed paper is obtained. However, third-party collaboration is a long way off. More filthy things start to become really twisted at that point. Tammy and her associates may intentionally or unintentionally provide the federal authorities with information through third-party transactions that supports the case of another person. The odd thing is that even if the person never met, signed anything, or even knew what was happening, the Fed still has time to change their policy and offer them a deal. This is the root cause of the general deadlock in a perplexing gray area of the Meech dilemma. In theory, Meech would not have been able to snitch if he did not sign any agreements or have a face-to-face meeting with the federal government, but a significant problem hangs over everything. Had Tammy been behaving rashly and taking sides behind his back the whole time? Or was Meech aware of his meek backdoor collaboration that resulted in a lighter sentence and just nodded? 50 Cent is going all out now, saying that Big Meech was fully aware of what was going on and even gave Tammy some exclusive information, which she then gave to the federal authorities. I'm hoping it will be when you actually read the paperwork. Furthermore, if Tammy was actually out here alone, feeding the feds behind Coach's back rather than just ignoring it, it could be a stretch to call Meech a snitch. The commotion of the 1950s is entangling everyone, and some are even criticizing others for not accompanying him, which only strengthens their position. Boosie, one of the primary ones, was called out. This is because Lil Meech got involved in the situation personally, which made Boosie angry. As you can see, 50 boldly called Big Meech a rat online, and Lil Meech texted 50 immediately after, bringing criticism to the entire Fennery family, and that message quickly spread on the internet. They just told me that you unfollowed me on Instagram, and that you are now raising a talented child with Rocket, despite the fact that I was the one who introduced you to him. You were unaware of Lil Meech's identity when he texted 50. This man is amazing. Despite my problems, I've always been devoted to you. As a human, I have never lied to you. Furthermore, it wasn't all that bad. Lil Meech also attempted to correct. Lil Meech asserted that his father's association with Rick Ross, the original source of this chaotic circus, had nothing to do with loyalty or treachery and was just motivated by financial gain. Ross says that in order to help my dad pay his costs till the start of our next season, he handed him some bread. This isn't even like that in real life, as you are aware. 50 stated that he didn't plan to listen to it and advised Lil Meech to still watch the BMF performance despite Lil Meech's continued criticism of the internet. Farewell, he gave a frigid clap in return. No warning, no second chances, just gone. 50 even went off. What is the upcoming season? Before it could begin, Lil Meech's acting career on Lil Ninjas was cut short. To exacerbate the situation, 50 swiftly returned to the internet to ridicule Lil Meech for losing his job and to announce that his next appearance will be on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. He purported to be a career coach and was helping Lil Meech, even though he was not even close to turning 50. After making fun of Lil Meech, 50 made fun of Big Meech and Rick Ross's parenting abilities. Make subtle, caustic comments regarding as a father, Big Meech found some old video of Lil Meech hanging out with Rick Ross's daughter Toy Roberts from their courting days. In a hazy caption, 50 posted the video and questioned why Rick Ross did not intervene to support Lil Meech's family throughout Big Meech's years-long incarceration. Why did not the old boy see Meech's potential and send him to acting school? Was the next question thrown by 50 more dirt-riding flings. A cry that was deafening. Out here, none of your parents were helping him. You made a huge mistake. Pablo Escobar throughout that period. You believed you were the black one when you got home. Pablo Escobar, however, it didn't end there. 50 made sure to tell everyone that the Flannery family continued to feed while Meech was incarcerated because Big Meech helped them earn over $5 million in real money. It is not my fault that all of that money has been lost, he wrote, after which he delivered Meech yet another vicious blow. Be honest and return the baby's jewelry. Additionally, he smoked for Boosie 50. When questioned about 50, Bowie revealed Lil Meech's text. With nothing in hand, he expressed his displeasure with Lil Meech's approach to the matter. Boosie claimed that his father would not have been composed or courteous if he had been hauled in this manner. He'd have been popular. It appears that Lil Meech has had enough of being polite. 50 has always been there for him. He was spotted standing shoulder to shoulder with Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross, two of 50's fiercest rivals, following all of that chaos. That alone makes a statement. And everyone is now aware of how profoundly 50, due to back and forth mocking, taunts, and outright rudeness, Rick Ross and Cent had been at odds for 10 years. When Meech was released from prison, he became as close to Ross as if they had been friends for ages, which is when this entire new issue with Big Meech began. Floyd Mayweather should also not be overlooked. He and 50 were once very close, almost like brothers, but their friendship ended badly due to money problems and overly nasty personal remarks. This is not a casual get-together at 50, as evidenced by the fact that Lil Meech is now laughing with them both. The middle finger makes a lot of noise. As you are now aware, 50 was not going to stand by and not clap back. Lil Meech shared a picture of himself smiling with Floyd and Ross on Friday, February 21st. After they had a great evening at Miami's Lucky Strike bowling alley. Lil Meech didn't stop there either, as he published another image of himself and Floyd dressed in apparel from Meech's Red Letter 1 brand. Following a period of failure, the brand appears to be on the mend. Lil Meech even provided Floyd with some original pieces on the position, thus adding a bit more impact. He stated in the description, "True power like a shot fired directly at 50 to make sure no one missed a shade, verify that 50 understood everything." Ross and Floyd joined the line and showered Big Meech with affection over the speakerphone. "I'll send some wings over there even if Floyd makes a joke." That sentence summed up the entire Flannery family's odor. There won't be any refunds, changes, or apologies. 50 believes they have tricked her. After everything they did for Big Meech and Lil Meech, in the most terrible way imaginable. In addition to mentioning Meech in a few songs, 50 offered Lil Meech a golden ticket to Hollywood, placing him at the front of the line with a lucrative acting career that is set to take off. He also built the entire BMF business by narrating their narrative to millions of television viewers. Lil Meech then turns around and begins to defend himself against Floyd Mayweather and Rick Ross, two of his most formidable opponents. 50 is ensuring that everyone is aware of his precise emotions regarding his bold move. Social media and the streets are now equally divided on this issue. Others contend that by disclosing private correspondence, including reality TV, and charging them with espionage without any supporting evidence, the 1950s are going too far. Nevertheless, 50's Day One supporters fiercely support him, claiming that he has every right to feel deceived and disenfranchised after everything he has done for Meech's family, even though they claim that it now appears to be more ego than fact. This narrative is far from over and is becoming more bizarre by the day.